Okay, here is a catch for moisture inside the system. I've never been this close. I've been getting this on some other cars, but this one is real. And let's go ahead and punch the AC button and listen. Obviously, a lot of you will confuse that for some other component that is not doing its job. I've heard that before, and I've made that kind of misdiagnosis before also. But here, I caught this one red-handed, and as a matter of fact, it's making a lot of inside this very system right now that I'm going to take a lot of measures to get this back working, because right now there is a whole lot of problem. This is not cooling, this is blowing warm air. Not only that, there are a lot of symptoms it's putting out right here, and this is where a lot of mechanic can get tipsy and crazy, because you end up changing a lot of parts without knowing that this is moisture that is messing up with your head. It takes a lot of experience. No one is really talking about this in the YouTube. When we write about preventive measures, you better not even come across this kind of problem as a DIY, because it's gonna frustrate you, and as a mechanic it's gonna really shake you up if you have never had any previous experience about this. So let me still go further and put it on again and listen closely. Did you hear that? As I punch the button, the sound goes down. Now, moisture cannot be completely getting rid of inside the system. It's like trying to get rid of disease out of the body completely. There's always going to be just some fraction that is left. Why? In your body system, some of the food which you eat contaminate your systems. So the same thing goes in the car AC system. Some of the materials which you use have presence of moisture, some percentage. Maybe a lot of you guys who are watching, the refrigerant which you add inside your car haven't been really key on watching it closely. If you have been watching it closely, you will be able to know that you cannot completely eliminate moisture inside the system. You're only going to reduce it to some BRS minimum. However, for this very car here, just one very component created this whole mess. One component. So that is why you have to be very careful whenever you're restoring your car AC system, because the least expected component can make a mess. And trust me when I say I've lost a lot of money on this very car here. And sometimes customer can actually contribute to that, because this very customer here was really insistent, and I'm so pissed and stressed out on this very car right now. So, and here the car is still making a mess. It's not blowing cold at all. So what's the solution to this? You have to flush the entire system. Let's flush the evaporator, the condenser, the pipe, everything. Flush them clean. What is the best material for this? It's not gonna be cheap. It's called liquid nitrogen. Why is it very suitable? because it will leave no moisture trace inside the system. It will leave no remnant inside the system. So if you have come into the situation where your car will blow cold sometimes and will not blow cold sometimes, this varies by car make and model. So take my advice with a pinch of salt. It's not going to be the same with although it can actually happen in Toyota models from 2011 model and Lexus from 2010 model. Blowing cold sometimes and warm sometimes is actually their national anthem, so be well aware of that. However, for some other cars, it's a call to concern, and you have to totally eradicate everything inside the system and start afresh. Now, if you're the kind of technician who is not good with setting up the system from scratch, then oh my god, you've got into a serious problem, and you will be needing a helping hand to help you solve this. Some other symptoms which you're going to be experiencing is fluctuation in the cooling. It cools sometimes it doesn't cool sometimes. It brings out some and what actually happened in that regard is when the refrigerant quantity is a much volume, let's say like 90% or 95%, while moisture is around 5%, you're gonna be seeing some frost coming out here. Some people, when I see frost, they say, oh, my AC is cooling so well. Well, there is a big problem just behind that very frost, which you are very happy about right there. So, and as not a video, you're gonna know the other side of it. Now, what is those symptoms which you're also gonna be witnessing when you have a moisture within the system? You're going to be experiencing the suction, the pipe. It can be intermittent. You're going to be seeing frost forming at the suction line. Most of the times, if this in a house AC, a lot of you will confuse it for a low refrigerant level, so you go ahead and pop it up with refrigerant, but still the problem is not solved. So in that regard, you want to evacuate every refrigerant inside the system, recover it, then go ahead and flush the system, set up the system again, pull vacuum to remove every air and every little moisture, because there's still gonna be some moisture that will be left. So when you pull those out completely, then you can start charging up the system again, and I guarantee you also, don't forget to replace the second dryer. Now on the other side also, which you need to pay attention to when you have a moisture, is the compressor makes a rattling noise. A common rattling noise sound which you hear in a AC compressor, in a car AC compressor, most people will misdiagnose it that the system compressor lacks oil and they go ahead to pump more oil. However, sometimes when you start noticing that the more you add oil, it subsides sometimes and the noise continues sometimes, you could be having a internal structural failure due to moisture, which in the other way prevents the oil to do its job. So imagine using water as the lubricant that lubricate your AC system's compressor. That's technically what you're seeing there. So when you get oil in the oil and the moisture react, and it's kind of like mix with the oil and provide a poor lubrication for the system. So you'll be having some sort of wear and tear of the compressor more rapid than usual, which result into clunking, knocking, rattling noise. I hope you find this very useful. Be sure to subscribe, drop me comments in the comment section about how you solve yours and what's the symptoms which you experience when your car is having a moisture problem, which I didn't list in this very video, to help some others who may be encountering the problem solve their own problem. Bye for now. I remain Dr. Fix. See you in the next one.